Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. I want people to understand, I want the world to understand why there's been kind of like a pause going on right now as far as the coming judgment. The Most High allowed the many Gentiles to be able to see the suffering and the wrongdoing that has been happening to his chosen people. This was all part of prophecy. You know, I said for hundreds and hundreds of years, these people have had their eyes blinded by the abominable church. And the Most High prophesied that he would give the Gentiles an opportunity to see the error of their ways. Once we came to the end of our destruction, you know, going through our 500 plus years of our final captivity, the Most High prophesied that he would give the Gentiles an opportunity to see the truth before the Most High really brings down the hammer of destruction. Now, this isn't necessarily in the Bible. This was actually hidden in the Book of Mormon and First Nephi. So just so now you can get a chance to kind of look for yourself and see that there is prophecy hidden in multiple books. All of the prophecy of the world was not contained in just one book. The Most High had with this whole transition period that we're seeing right now, he hid that in another book. And like I said, you know, the Most High made it this way so that he would use his people to be able to go into different books, as he prophesied at the end in 2 Esdras 14, in order to get even more understanding. The Gentiles, we know, have been blinded. Talked about that, remember, in Jeremiah 16:19, about how, you know, fathers have inherited lies. So these hot lies have been handed down through the abominable church for this whole time. When we came into the end of our captivity, seems to be around March 2020, then all of a sudden the whole world wanted to be down with, well, even still it's hijacked into the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But eventually they'll get it, that it has been talking about the Hebrew Israelites and the things that they've been going through. And now I'm seeing a lot of people making videos, especially a lot of so-called white people, a lot of Gentiles. And the thing is that you got to understand, well, they're making a lot of videos trying to talk about how whites have been enslaved, and that you know, black people sold their own black people into, you know, captivity, and that Native Americans owned black slaves. See, this is the problem with a lot of the Gentiles. They're still using all of the bywords that they gave us to put us into groups of people. There's no such thing as a white person, no such thing as a black person, no such thing as a Native American person. These are all names that they put on us. And the thing is that in every single group you put, that you have come up with and made up, it's a mixture of people. And you cannot tell who's who by just looking at people. So, of course, yes, some black people owned other black people. That is true. But many of those black people aren't our people. So that's what you guys have tried to oversimplify things, saying all black people are the same, and we are not. And the book of Exodus is talking about one group of black people, Hamites, enslaving another group of supposed, you know, black people, Hebrew Israelites. Same thing has happened today. Some white people are our people. They look white because of all the mixing. But not all white people. Just like some Native Americans are our people. Not all Native Americans. But see, the other nations the Gentiles love to oversimplify things so then they can have some kind of an argument. And see, ultimately, it doesn't matter. See, the Most High is the one who's been keeping track of who's been doing who to what. I don't have to, that's not my job to worry about. I don't have to try to say all these people here have done this and that's what all these people are going to get this. That's not my job. That's the Most High's job. This is, and then it's also was talked about how everyone's was going to go through some type of punishment. So just because we talk about slavery doesn't mean that no one else has gone through slavery, not just us. What the scriptures do talk about, though, is that our people were going to go through the worst of the worst types of punishments. So that doesn't mean that other groups of people haven't gone through anything. Of course they have. All nations have been up and down. Most High has punished them and given them the opportunity to rule things. So you can find accounts of all people going through stuff. But the main point is that no one has gone through the things that Israelites have gone through. Let's get that real fast. In Daniel 9 and 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. Okay? And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. So yes, we were going to go through the curses of Moses. But let's look at 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. So you guys can make all the videos you guys want talking about how white people have been enslaved and how, black people have, you sold your own selves, to your own people. Native Americans own slaves. Yes. Now you oversimplify the people, and you also don't know the scriptures about how, yeah, everyone's gone through stuff, but no one has gone through it as bad as the Israelites have. That's what you need to understand. Okay. Many people, talk about, well, I never had slaves. I never had a slave, so therefore I'm not responsible for anything. That's what they don't understand, the fact that the Most High puts everybody through stuff. We all have to go through generational curses. We already went through our generational curses many times over. Right now, he said, I know that many people are getting tired of hearing about racism. They're getting tired of hearing about Black Lives Matter. They're getting tired of the protests because the Gentiles are used to quick fixes. They're not used to having to really deal with a matter. Just like if you look at Trump does not want to deal with the plague, because if you can't fix it in 20 minutes, they don't want to deal with it. But they haven't had to. They've been in their blessing. So they've been getting blessed this whole time. And I said, and the key part of this video is this, what I want people to understand is this. The Most High opened the world's eyes to our struggle. Okay? But he didn't let them see our struggle so that they could fix the problem. Because see, they're used to trying to fix things and hey, we'll give you guys a couple laws. Shut up. Okay, damn it, we'll arrest these cops now. Okay, man, we'll give you guys these charges against these cops for shooting this guy back. Will you guys please shut up and go back home? We don't want to hear about these problems anymore. So that's how they react to things, because they're not used to being into it for the long haul. They're used to holding themselves not guilty and telling us just to deal with it. That's what they're used to. But see, we've come to a new era. Their era, their matrix is done. Our children have dealt with generational curses. They were born into these generational curses. No one cared. But they love to say, oh, well, look, I'll start caring about Black Lives Matter when they stop killing themselves. They don't care about themselves. Who set this system up? They did. So it's really easy to sit there and try to ignore the problem. But the thing is that it was not, You guys were allowed to see the pretty much what you guys have built. You're having an opportunity to see the end result of the society that you have built and how you set it up for the Israelites to kill each other, to destroy each other, to hate each other. You set it up so we did not have a path back to the Most High. You set it up so that we only read the books that you approve. And if we came up with something different, then we were considered going off. We were considered unlearned because it didn't fit, your profile, the way you guys have set things up. So you made it so it was like an impossible way without the Most High and the Holy Spirit to find our way back home. So our people and our children have been born into these generational curses for hundreds of years. What makes you think that you and your children won't share the same fate? That's what I don't get. Yes, you will share the same fate. Okay? So like I said, the Most High finally let you see how bad you've been treating his chosen people, so that you understand why the Most High is coming here to fix the problem himself. Because you always have to remember, he always said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So now you understand why he said that. Because his people don't have the means to protect themselves. His people have been set at the bottom. His people have been set, they've been the base people of the world. And that the only way they're going to be restored and renewed is through the power of the Most High. So, like I said, that's why you had this big, huge Black Lives Matter movement. All of a sudden, people realize that racism sucks. They already realize now that, these people right here have just been at the bottom. But the thing is that they want to try to fix it themselves. They need to be getting on their hands and knees and praying to the power of the Most High for him to come and fix it, because that's the only way it's going to get fixed. The only way that the world is going to get better is when the righteous are put back in power. When the wicked are in power, the earth mourns. And as you can tell, the earth is mourning. The earth, the animals, insects, everything, the oceans, the forests, they're all yearning and mourning because they want the righteous to be in power. And the righteous are the Most High's chosen people. The wicked have had their chance to run the earth, and they've done a great job of destroying everything. So now that you understand what you're seeing, now you understand, you're going to see why it's been written about how the Gentiles are going to get an opportunity to see the truth before the real end came. I mean, the Most High is fair. I said, as you got to understand, the Most High is going to give a warning shot. The Most High is going to open people's eyes. And now you can also see how people are, even with getting the truth in their heads and right in front of their eyes, they still are talking about, I don't care. I don't want to hear about this racism anymore. I don't want to try to make it right. I don't care. They're trying to make excuses for everything that's happened to our people, but without taking any responsibility themselves. But let me show you right now, right here in the Book of Mormon. We're going to go to 1 Nephi 13. Okay, we're going to 1 Nephi 13, 32. Okay. We're only going to read a couple verses because you're going to see it's going to fit what's going on right now to the T. Neither will the Most High suffer that the Gentiles shall forever remain in that awful state of blindness. Okay, so he's let you guys be blind for a very long time. But he's, like I said, he is fair. He's giving you an opportunity to see the truth. He's giving you an opportunity to hear the truth. What you do with it is on you. That's why I said, get on your knees and pray where the Most High opens your eyes and gives you, the direction of what it is you're supposed to do. So again, neither will the Most High suffer that the Gentiles shall forever remain in that awful state of blindness, which thou beholdest they are in, because of the plain, and most precious parts of the gospel of the Lamb, which have been kept back by that abominable church, whose formation thou hast seen. The abominable church got our scriptures, messed everything all up, took things out, made, manipulated it. So then now that the Gentiles have been blinded, all the churches. So I don't want to hear, hey, just Catholics, but not my church. Yeah, your church too. I love how these Christians always do that. Well, not my church. My church does. Yeah, your church does too. Your church has been set up to keep everybody blind as well. Because if your church wasn't part of this, you would know something. But most church people who go to churches don't know anything, because pastor got to tell them. If pastor don't tell them, they don't want to hear. Pastors become like the husband and the head of all these other households, where all these men that don't want to read and don't want to study and let their women run everything. I said, when that's why they would come out as pastors, said we need to do this, and and this guy just goes along and goes with it and doesn't think for himself. Okay, because pastor is not running my house, and pastor shouldn't be running your house either. But that would entail, you taking some responsibility and studying. Okay, men. All right. Let's see here. Let's continue. 33. Wherefore saith the Lamb of the Most High, I will be merciful unto the Gentiles, unto the visiting of the remnant of the house of Israel in great judgment. All right. He's right here telling you right now, he's going to be merciful unto the Gentiles. He's letting you guys see the truth. He's giving you guys the opportunity to see the truth. Now, if you look on all these other channels, they're not trying to tell you the truth. They're not trying to tell you that the Most High opened your eyes to be able to see what's happening to his chosen people. Have you heard any other pastors trying to talk to you guys about that? About this being a very important time period right now. As you saw, like the month of what's happened in the month, as far as how much this plague has now taken a grip on the nation. How it was for Memorial Day and how it's now working up to 4th of July, which again is a blood moon as well coming up. Look at the change of the nation with how much the plague now has taken over. So the Most High has given like the world like about a month to kind of hear what's, about the truth of the Most High's chosen people being, destroyed. You got about a month, to see that things are not right, and that if you can't depend on the system to fix it, because the system has never been set up to fix this problem. The system has been set up to pretty much set up this problem, support these issues, keep us at the bottom, destroy our people. Like you said, a lot of cops now are walking away from the job because now there's some consequences to some of their actions, and they're like, if I can't just beat, and do whatever I want to do to certain these people, then I'm going to quit. They quit. It just shows you how the system's been set up. It's like if it's been open season on our people, and now the Most High is like, no more of that, and now people are wanting to quit. Okay, so again, let's read that 33 again. Wherefore saith the Lamb of the Most High, I will be merciful unto the Gentiles, unto the visiting of the remnant of the house of Israel in great judgment. So he's going to be visiting the remnant of his people, and this great judgment is coming for what has been done to us. So like I've talked about many times, I don't need your pity. The real Hebrews don't need your pity, because we know what's coming for the people who have been doing these things to us. Our Father is coming back, and he's pissed, and he's upset, and that's what's all over the scriptures. That's why when you go to church, they don't want to read the Old Testament. They don't want to read a lot of that stuff, because like I've heard these people who are now walking from Christianity, these people now these famous people walking with Christianity, they're like, the God of the Old Testament seems like he's mad all the time. Well, he's coming back again, and he's pretty pissed again. And now you can see why, because he's letting you guys know about all the things that are happening to his chosen people, and that he's bringing judgment. Vengeance is his. Vengeance is mine, saith the Most High. So now you understand why he's coming back with vengeance. Because when the other nations got a chance to have this revealed to them, they still continued and doubled down with the lies, and they're doubling down with just destroying our people. They're not about changing the system. So that's why the Most High is coming back to destroy the system. So now, check this out. 34. You're going to see what's been happening to us. It's all in here. And people are always talking about the Book of Mormon, and they talk about the Mormon Church. This has nothing to do with the Mormon Church. This has to do with the Most High's chosen people. 34. And it came to pass that the angel of the Lord spake unto me, saying, Behold, saith the Lamb of the Most High, after I have visited the remnant of the house of Israel. And this remnant of whom I speak is the seed of thy father. Wherefore, after I have visited them in judgment, and smitten them by the hand of the Gentiles, and after the Gentiles do stumble exceedingly. So right here, he says he's going to use the Gentiles. Okay? Says, I have visited them in judgment and smitten them by the hand of the Gentiles. So he was going to use the Gentiles to destroy our people. Did that not happen? Yes, it did. After the 500 or 400 years, all of a sudden this year, everything's turned upside down because our time of punishment is over and is now in a transitioning period to the Gentiles. But before he goes into that great judgment, he gave the Gentiles the opportunity to see the truth. Now it depends on what the Gentiles are going to do with this short amount of time, and or what are they going to do? Fall on their knees to the Most High and ask Him for forgiveness, or double down on the destruction of the Most High's chosen people? That's what's going on right now. So again, I have visited them in judgment and smitten them by the hand of the Gentiles. And after the Gentiles do stumble exceedingly because of the most plain and precious parts of the gospel of the Lamb, which have been kept back by the abominable church, which is the mother of harlots, saith the Lamb, I will be merciful unto the Gentiles in that day, insomuch that I will bring forth unto them in mine own power much of my gospel, which shall be plain and precious, saith the Lamb. So the Most High is using his nation to bring you guys the truth. Now, if you accept it, that's beautiful. If you reject it, well, it'll be a beautiful destruction for you. That's what this whole holding pattern has been going on right now. For the Gentiles to see the error of their ways, and then be able to get on their knees for for mercy. And the mercy that the Most High gives you is between you and Him. I'm just showing you what the Most High has showed me right here. The church kept back a lot of truth. They kept back these abominable churches lied about who the chosen people are. They've lied about keeping the laws. They've lied about what they found when they got over here. They're lying about where they got all of their information from. Well, all of a sudden in the Renaissance area, it just went crazy. Well, the only thing that changed wasn't that they got any smarter, is that they came over here and stole all of our stuff. I wonder what that just happened. Okay. Guess they didn't like me talking about that. Right? Okay. So that's what's going on right now. So if people are wondering why, what's going on, I said with this whole Black Lives Matter and all of a sudden people are realizing what's going on. That's the Holy Spirit going back and showing people the truth. The church has lied about this. They're the one that gave you guys all this, so that you would listen to them, so they could lead you to destruction. So that when the Most High brought the truth out, you would not listen to a man of color. You would not want to listen to him because it's been just put in your mind that Jesus is white, God's white, so therefore the white man's going to be telling you the truth about absolutely everything. But now you're even hearing about these, one of the archbishops in England talking about how we need to revisit, if Jesus was a white man or however they set him up. I love it how these guys act like they set this stuff up, but then they get to come at the end and say, hey, who did this? Who said that Jesus was white? Yeah, it was you. It was your people that did that. All of a sudden now they want to play the role like they don't know who set this up and that we need an investigation. Yeah, they're going to investigate like they always do. They're going to hold themselves not guilty. It wasn't us. We didn't come out of white Jesus. It wasn't us. That's them. But the Most High has given people opportunity to see the truth. First and foremost, Yahushua was not white. And I don't want to hear he must have been Middle Eastern. There's no such thing as Middle East. That's another concept that was made up. So we want to hear all that garbage either. No one knows. Yeah, but all the pictures look like this. No one knows what he looks like, but they all look like this. But you said you have an opportunity now to decide if the Most High is working with you. If He doesn't change your spirit, then you're going to get whatever you're going to get. But if he's working on your spirit to see the truth, I would drop everything and be chasing as much as I possibly can. He's the one that gave you this abominable church. And these Christian churches as well. They gave you this. So the Most High gave the Gentiles their opportunity to see the truth. There's plenty of videos out here. There's plenty of books. There's plenty of information, and you can get on your knees. You can pray. So it all depends on what it is, what spirit the Most High has given you. But someone has to give you the truth. I said, because these churches ain't going to give it to you. These churches are still, to this day, lying about everything. Talking about that rapture. Talking about, the land of Israel over there in the so-called Middle East. I do find it kind of funny, though, because a couple of videos ago, I talked about how there was barely a little bit of information in the news about things going on in the Middle East. And all of a sudden, all of these people start talking about explosions in Iran and annexations of land and all this other stuff, trying to still keep themselves relevant. But these people don't have any relevancy anymore. We know the truth, and we know, not to listen to any of the garbage that they are saying. So as you can see right here, Most High put this information of what's going on right now, but it's in other books as well. So you can't be stuck on just one book and think you have it all, because you don't. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.